What's up, winners? My name is Aaron Geerts.
And I'm Crystal Apilado.
This is the 795. And Crystal, we are here on location in the gazebo in the middle of Rotary Park in hustling, bustling Winners. It's a nice, kind of breezy winter day. How are you doing on this winter breezy day?
Doing good.
Yeah, and you are not only the editor-in-chief of the Winners Express, but the co-host of the 795.
Yes.
How long have we been talking about doing this show?
We've been talking about doing the show for months.
Maybe
months. A year or two.
Because it sounded so good as an idea. We're like, yeah, we have all these ideas for it, but then actually doing it just was, I got all these things. I mean...
Well, the pandemic didn't help.
No, it didn't help. You're involved in, I don't know if there's a single organization you're not like volunteering for or involved in, top of doing your job, on top of being a mom and helping out in schools and all that stuff. I mean, do you have a second of free time? Or, I mean, technically this is work, so I mean,
I get it now. Leisure. I get it now and then.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Like a second here or two?
Yeah.
Like using the restroom or something like that?
No. When the children are sleeping, usually.
They sleep?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't sleep.
No. It's like, what's sleeping's for the weak? Sleep when you're dead. It'll be fine. What is this project we're doing that is called the 795? I did one episode with Curtis Stocking. Shout out to Curtis Stocking and the Reef Project. But for those who don't know, what are we trying to do here? What is this show? These two co-hosts talking to each other.
Well, the 795 is a community-focused show that is brought to you by the Winners Express. We wanted to take the Winners Express up to the next level with digital and opportunities to talk to the community and hear about their stories.
Absolutely. Firsthand
on video.
And not the newspaper's still going to be there. We're still sticking true to our roots.
Yeah.
But this is more of, I kind of see it as our version, Winter's version of Good Day Sacramento, with feel-good stories, because every single person... What's the population of Winners?
A little over 7,000.
A little over 7,000. That's 7,000 stories, darn it.
Yeah.
And we knew each other... You had to remind me way back when we first... I interviewed for work at the Winners Express over there at Steady Eddie's. You informed me that you used to babysit me way back when.
I did.
And...
You and your brothers.
It was news to me. I'm like, well, going full circle to come back and work for you, I guess.
That's the beauty of Winters. You never know who you're going to be working with as an adult.
And that was kind of a cool, when we're ideating for the 795 of like having, not going to say you're the past of Winters, darn it. Still young, go hard, but just different generations of Winters.
Yeah.
Commenting on Winners and just sharing these stories and just diving deep into it. It's just, was that your first job, babysitting?
Yeah.
I'd say it's solid, especially in a community like this, somebody you trust.
I worked at the Karen Lynn School as a teacher's aide, and then I babysat a lot of the families there.
What did you charge?
It was like $1 an hour.
$1 an hour?
Per kid.
That's a steal.
It was for families who were, going to school or just trying to, get work done, and it was the 90s.
A simpler time, the 90s, a blessed time. Before you got to here now, what was your life path after Winters? Because I know it, but I would like you to tell it, of just how you became the editor-in-chief and just kind of having just wearing all the hats that you do now in Winters and being such a big part of the community.
Well, the funny story is I never wanted to be here.
No, never. This town.
As an angry teenager, I wanted to leave. And so I went to Los Angeles County to the University of Laverne, studied journalism. I was the editor for the paper there for a while at the school. Mm-hmm. And then I decided it was not for me. It was not my cup of tea.
And all
no,
that?
LA. It's not my cup of tea.
LA. No, not at all.
And so I ended up at Western Michigan University in Kalamazoo.
All right. So going from California, to Michigan, that's kind of I would say, dramatic choice, but what was in Kalamazoo waiting for you?
My friend said you'd really like Michigan.
And you trusted your friend enough to just say, screw it.
Yeah.
We're going over there.
Yeah. And I did. I really liked Michigan, but it snowed.
Yes, it did.
A lot, and there were tornadoes. And
tornadoes in Michigan?
Yeah.
Icy, frosty, apocalyptic tornadoes?
Well, in the summer.
That doesn't sound fun any time of the season.
No.
And what was the survive? You just kind of wait, hope it doesn't kill you, or what's the move?
I don't know.
But you survived.
I survived.
Just stay home, just turn up the volume on your TV.
Yeah.
So, anyways, you're in Kalamazoo, and what are you doing over there?
Going to school, mainly. I was on the Western Herald newspaper there too.
All right.
And then I graduated, and I was going to try to get a journalism job in Detroit. Mm-hmm. and they weren't hiring at all. And then I came back to the left coast.
The left coast.
Yeah, I was in Portland for about 6 months, and then I went down to Southern California.
Mm-hmm. You went back?
I went back.
Oh, my.
Yeah, because my sister was going to UC Riverside, and she needed a roommate, and I had nowhere to go.
Aww.
So I moved in with her.
Very good.
And eventually started working for a pet publishing company.
What was it called?
It was at the time called Bowtie Inc.
Bowtie Inc.
It had 2 name changes over the 12 years I worked there.
Couldn't imagine. Whoa. Look at that production value. Anyways, Bowtie Inc.
Yeah, so there, it went through 12. I worked there for 12 years, and it went through 3 name changes because it got sold and they changed it.
Just a hot potato.
Twice,
of
yeah.
You take it. I don't want it.
Well, so it was the publishing company that owned Cat Fancy, Dog Fancy, a bunch of pets related magazines, hobby farming, motorcycle, consumer news, veterinary practice news. And so, yeah.
And all that was like all in your fancy of just journalism and just like reporting in general.
Yeah, it was, I got hired on as their web editor for Bird Talk magazine and Ferrets magazine. And so I launched their websites. I helped lay out the magazine for Ferrets and assigned news and assignments and got to do videos and all these. I got to help bring it up to the next level.
Let's go. What we're doing now.
Yeah. So social media didn't become a thing for businesses until about 2008. That's when Facebook opened up to the public.
Wild times. That was 2008.
It was very wild. So it was Facebook and MySpace.
MySpace. I was thinking about Tom this morning for some reason. I don't know why, that geeky little photo of his. You always have Tom as a friend.
Yeah. So those were the 2 social media platforms that launched at the time. And so I got to help bring our brands up through them. And so after 2 years of being a web editor, I got to work as the first ever social media specialist.
Did you realize at the time what an impact this was going to have on news and media and how we consume information?
No.
I
mean, I was a social media pioneer. It had never been done before. And part of the reason why the first company closed was because the owner wasn't ready to embrace digital, and at the time, I don't blame him. It was kind of wild.
The future is now, old man.
And so, we jumped in feet first, and
let's go.
We launched, we utilized YouTube and launched a bird dance-off where people submitted videos of their birds dancing, and then they got to vote on it.
Who won?
A cockatoo.
I was going to say, there's
named Snowball. Actually, Snowball the cockatoo is a very famous dancing bird. One of the first. You could look him up on YouTube.
Is he on YouTube? Talking millions of views?
I don't know at this. It was 2009 maybe when we did it.
Was he just speaking in the air? Like, what was the move that, like, what was the sauce?
There's a head bob. Yeah, cockatoos do this, this head bob thing.
Have you seen the little birds? I love, they just kind of, like, they're about this big, and the birds are, they're just the best, aren't they?
They are.
I mean,
they're
not
interesting.
the best, but just, they're, super interesting, and just
weird,
goofy little characters.
I've learned a whole bunch about pet parrots from just working on Bird Talk for 2 years.
They live forever, too. Like, a parrot could, like, go past, like, a hundy, possibly?
Probably. I mean, reptiles are the longest living pets that I know of.
I could use a turtle, so they won't die.
Birds definitely have outlived their owners on occasion.
And start pecking at them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, now they're food. No, anyways, that's morbid. So you're a pioneer there. That's pretty cool. You're in SoCal there when everything was getting started. And was there more to the story before you came back up to Winners?
Well, so I'd been out there for 2 years as the web editor. That's when I met my husband, and I was going to move up so I could move in with him and help take care of the boys.
Because he lived up here?
Up here, and he was in Vallejo. And so I tried to quit, and they said, no, you're not. And that's when they created the social media. I know. I was very blessed.
It's like, all right.
But they created the social media position because it was, it was a happening thing. I was savvy enough to not be afraid to try it. And I was technologically experienced enough with web experience that I was also not afraid to do something from far away.
You're a techno pioneer.
Yeah, so I started I started telecommuting in. I worked from home.
You're like kind of pioneering also the work from home fad
Yeah,
that we're all enjoying today. I also want to thank you for having that techno prowess and know-how, because I feel like you've given me so much autonomy to try and do a bunch of new goofy things and whatnot. And look at us here. Look at us now.
Launching a website.
I love it. Yes. Working from hometown.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah.
So
I moved here.
All right. You got married.
Moved here. Got married. I was with the
Shout out to
company.
Kevin.
Right.
Shout out to Kevin.
I was with them for about 12 years. And then that's when they really kind of got into trouble.
What'd they do?
Well, they just had to start liquidating their assets.
Ooh.
And so they were doing mass layoffs. I finally got involved in one of them.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And so I had about 2 years where I was unemployed. And so I ended up doing my own business. I was doing social media marketing
All right.
in town. Lester Farms, Green River, and Rock and Jump.
Lester Farms.
And so I got to do that for 2 years until I got hired on at the Express.
What was your favorite donut at Lester Farms?
I was more a chocolate croissant person.
Chocolate croissant. Mm-hmm. Yeah, not to say upper crust isn't. You're killing it right now. They got great stuff.
Yeah.
But like Lester, I was a cinnamon twist guy. Love that kind of gooey center where the dough kind of merged in with the icing glaze. Just like I need more sugar in my diet, right? So that's where I'd go to. My brothers really liked maple bars, which just could not be bothered.
They're all right.
No.
They're all right.
If I was starving, I might like nibble the undercrust, but leave the maple itself. And so hopped on the Winters Express. When did you become the editor? Like you're on top of the totem pole, darn it.
Yeah, I came on as the community editor,
mm-hmm.
and then became the assistant editor, and so I guess the end of it was 2019.
Mm-hmm.
November 2019 is when I stepped into the new role.
Dang.
Which, as we know, was just a few months shy of that awesome pandemic that really changed the whole way
the game changer.
Everything functioned.
Because we signed up for that, didn't we? So, as you're telling this story, the girl has moved to different places, but there's been a constant, seems like, passion for journalism and for news and for storytelling. What kind of like sparked that interest in you when you left off the college or left Winters?
I actually have always been a storyteller.
Yeah.
I used to get a cassette player and push record, and I would do newscasts from home.
Half the people listening have no idea what a cassette recorder is.
Yeah.
But I do. So you'd press it, you'd press record.
Yeah, I'd do newscasts. I'd do
what kind of
commercials. Anything. I mean, it was the 80s at the time.
Love it. Just
Care Bears.
Ninja Turtles?
Not at that time.
Dean's Frosty?
I wasn't in Winters. I was in Vallejo.
Oh, my God. So you grew up in Vallejo? Or?
Yeah, I moved to Winters in middle school.
And Dean's was gone by that time?
No, it was there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I wasn't doing cassette tape newscasts anymore.
Well, I'm glad you came to Winters. It's nice. Got a babysitter and a boss out of the whole thing. But was it your mom telling stories that inspired you, or that is just
I really can't remember. That's just always been me.
And always to be busy doing something.
Yeah, and I guess the whole storytelling thing I loved reading. I still do.
Mm-hmm.
Avid reader.
Let's go.
And so just creating my own things and we used to, camcorders were around then. And so we used to make my dad videotape us putting on shows and all those fun things kids do.
That is precious.
So just creating. I guess it's just always been me.
Yes. the creativity aspect of it, and you found your medium early on. It's just fun, right? And now you're able to kind of create a career out of it, pioneer it, and
so working for the pet industry, they were small niche communities for cats, dogs, horses, reptiles, all you name it. I probably did it, and I realized each niche was very individual.
Yes,
and there were people in them who just didn't know how to share information or their stories, and so when I moved back to Winters and started getting involved with nonprofits, like that seemed, not everyone was they didn't have that knowledge equipped or they weren't knowledgeable on it. And so just trying to help do that. And so once I got to the Express and became the community editor, that was just my job, was to help inform and tell the stories or get information out.
Exactly. because it's not just stories, but information, like stuff people need to know. They don't know if they don't know, and rounding back to, say, pet parents and whatnot, it is such a different niche, cat owners compared to dog owners. You can have both, but cats, like, there's so many different idiosyncrasies or antics or just little things. Oh, cats can't do this, or they prefer things that way. Dogs are the different personalities that the breeds have. It's just, oh, wow. We can also do a pet episode in the future, because we're looking at people who walk pets all over Rotary Park right now.
I know, I've seen like 3 dogs go by.
I love it. They're here one barking, but pets are, I'd say, a vital, huge part of the community. Yeah. And the lady and I, Jane, she was walking little Avro, little corgi at the Little League Park the other day, of just how they make the conversation so easy to come up. Oh, hey, who's this? Oh, hi, by the way, I'm so and so.
Yeah.
They just take whatever social anxiety there is and toss it out the window.
Yeah.
These dogs.
Yeah.
These cats, possibly. I'd be down to see a cat in public sometime. You have a dog.
Yes.
One dog, 2 dogs?
1 dog and 2 cats. Yes.
1 dog, 2 cats.
1 dog, 2 cats.
Apollo from the Rocky series.
Yes.
Excellent. And your cats, you gotta remind me of the names because they're just awesome.
Pablo Cadaval for Pablo Sandoval on the Giants.
Absolutely.
And Miguel Cabrera for Miguel Cabrera on the Detroit Tigers.
I feel like people have the most fun coming up with cat names because they involve some kind of pun, or it's just something ridiculous like Pickles or Pablo Cadaval. And are they just adorable and lovey? Or are they a little standoffish?
They're cats.
Cattish? Yes, they are.
They are indeed cats. They only want your love when they want it.
Of course.
And the rest of the time they're bossing you around.
It's kind of like you're not going to not serve them, though.
Yeah.
I don't understand where they get the gall to boss the Giants who are feeding them and trying to love them around.
Well, we're their staff, is what
true.
they
Very
think.
True.
So
it's what they know. It's just the way of things, I guess. We just kind of
We've
accept it.
We've allowed it to happen.
They have claws, and I'm just sitting here. I mean, my cat gashed me the other day pretty good. We were playing. I was just kind of bopping her head, and she just got her claw on my pinky, and I pulled away and just pound of flesh later. Ow, they hurt.
They do.
Those claws hurt like heck.
They do.
A local newspaper, the Winters Express. Why is it so important to have a local news source that supports the community supports it, and having genuine, true, factual information being spread and shared?
Yeah, so in a time when some media is being questioned, when you get down to that local aspect, you really get to the heart of the community. Mm-hmm. The heart of the community. You get a chance to just talk to everybody, from the city manager to the nonprofit that's working some effort. Mm-hmm. And we're able to get that info out weekly, get it out on our website. It's personalized because you know these people. It's not just trying to get the first story and break it. Although that's every journalist's dream. Mm-hmm. When you're at a community level, you care more, I guess.
It feels more like sharing information with a friend, and you have to keep a certain amount of professionalism when you're writing the article. I would love to say, well, we all know, or whatever, talk like I'm speaking, like it's just you and I. But to refer to something that Winters people know about, or to create memes on our Instagram page that people can identify with, we know, like we're in the know, we're part of the same community. It's jokes that they wouldn't get perhaps in Vallejo, but Winters people know.
Yeah, and I mean the Express really, when I kind of stepped up into the editor position, mm-hmm. I really wanted to focus on what was going on in town, making sure everyone got the information that was important, whether it was positive or stirring a pot, I guess. But I mean, if something's happening in Winters, we want them to know about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
From city news to nonprofits, and even introduce the community, like through our feature stories and our columns. Mm-hmm. We want people to know about what's going on, who's who, and with so many people moving to the town, or like us, we moved away and came back. Mm-hmm. There's more people to meet.
And I would say that, like, getting a subscription to any newbies who are listening to this, any newbies to town, I'd say a subscription to the Winters Express or to the Winters Express YouTube channel is a good way to kind of get your feet wet in the community, to start weaving your own thread in this basket that is us.
Yeah.
And it's cool. Just keep in touch. Athlete of the Week, that was always fun growing up.
Yeah.
And I've always, just looking around town, being able to write little stories about the small local businesses and how they've come to be, how they've survived the pandemic, and how the community supports them. That's probably not some of the funnest articles I've been able to write.
Yeah.
Just these are awesome businesses. Look at these guys. They're all killing it.
Yeah. Well, it's the fun part about being a journalist is when you do those kinds of stories, you get to learn more about people that maybe you already know.
Yes.
But you get to learn more about them, or you get to learn about the history of something which you didn't know before. Mm-hmm. And that's really fun, I feel. Like, that's something I really am excited about.
Like, I'd always be proud to be from Winters, but they were just words. And now that I'm speaking to people, even seniors or the Winters Senior Foundation or whoever, there's awesome people here doing amazing philanthropic things. Say Christian Durant, we got young people doing awesome things locally.
Well, and then even the creation of the 795 kind of came off of a conversation about how important it was to start recording the history of our town.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes hand with what the museum's doing and even other nonprofits who have their own projects, but being able to have the tools to do it and actually get it done, like, that's where that all kind of came from.
And a boss who's down to just, like, let's do it, ride or die, yeah! Oh, it's just fantastic. And is there anything else you'd like to add to? This is the quickest 23 minutes ever. We can't take up too much of people's time, I suppose.
I would just say a big invitation to anyone in the community who has a story to tell, or if there's something historic that you think is important that the Winters Express or 795 talks about, reach out to us. news@wintersexpress.com is the email.
It's that easy?
It's that easy.
Oh my God.
There's even a form.
If there's a story in mind or just anything like that, or someone that should be highlighted, because moving forward the way we want to do this, it's not just going to be on this bench. We're going to be everywhere in Winters, different locations with 2 to 3 guests, and we'll be the hosts. Sometimes Crystal will host if I'm not available, or vice versa. But the idea is to have us both here, just shooting off questions left and right, and having a guest tell their story. And hopefully I'll just have a great conversation all the while.
Yeah.
It's nice. 795, my goodness, Crystal. To a glorious webisodic news endeavor, I'd say.
New projects. Lots of fun.
Awesome. Excellent, Crystal. All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.